Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, December 20th, and I'm your host, Krista McDonald. Every year, the Friends of St. Nick honor a person or persons that have given back to the community. This year, Dave and Sheila Monahan of the Mug and Muffin were this year's honorees. Dave and Sheila have generously donated their time and resources in various ways for several people and organizations in the town of Norwood, including the Norwood Council on Aging and the Circle of Hope. The Monahans tell Norwood News how they think the day went.
First of all, we were way outside our comfort zone. It was quite an honor to be here today. It was a big success. So many good people in this town, and they just come together when there's a problem or when it's time to raise money. So definitely something that we'll cherish for the rest of our life. And I just want to say thank you to the Friends of St. Nick's.
A few weeks back, Caitlin Nodebart, a special education teacher at the high school, introduced a holiday toy drive to the residents of Norwood. The premise was to collect as many toys as possible and beat the number raised by Walpole. Ms. Nodebart explains where she heard of the idea and why she thought it would work in Norwood.
Jane Saratori is a community member who posted on Norwood Now that she was looking for a representative from the high school to get involved in the Mix 104.1's High School Challenge. And actually Allison Dolliner, who's the field hockey coach, tagged me in it, and also Mrs. Doreen. And the two of us then got in touch with Jane, and we coordinated to be able to run the program. Because it doesn't take a lot for students to get involved in this. They could buy a $1 toy or a $10 toy and be able to donate. And then we created a challenge with Walpole High School, so I think that increased the kids' motivation to really want to help out, because it also meant we were going to beat Walpole.
After a couple weeks of getting the word out and collecting toys at the high school and in her classroom, Ms. Nodebart was shocked when they found out how many they were actually able to raise.
So the first day we put up flyers, it was like within, I want to say, 2 days, we had toys. And we started counting them, and then we got to about like 400, and I was like, we're going to hit 500, and then more and more people just kept helping out. The Oldham helped out, the Cleveland Elementary, Prescott, they all did drives down at their elementary schools and then donated to us to make one big collection. And Monday morning we went on Carson and Kennedy with our total, which was over 1,200 toys, and we found out that we beat all of the other 9 schools in the competition. I think it just is a really nice way for students to be able to help out in not only just like our local community, but also our community at large, so Boston. It's also a military organization that helps out and runs that, so it was important for the kids to be able to see kind of different organizations coming together at Christmas and other towns coming together to participate in one collective group.
Stay tuned after this break for the manager's update and for this week's Living Local.
Your home for all things Norwood, online at norwoodcommunitymedia.org.
Welcome back. Town Manager Tony Mizuko gives us a recap of some events that have happened recently in town government on this month's Manager Update.
Hi folks, this is Town Manager Tony Mizuko coming to you with my monthly update. The second annual lighting of the menorah on the town common will be this Sunday at 5:30 on the common. Please join us for this new annual event. The town received its certificate of occupancy for the new Norwood Light headquarters on Access Road. The project came in on time and on budget, and we're very happy with the results. We expect staff to move in over Martin Luther King weekend, and we'll be having a short ribbon cutting ceremony in January and a full public open house in March. Kudos to the light department and their team for this great project. The Norwood Memorial Airport also received the certificate of occupancy for their new administration building, and as punch list items are completed, we expect staff to be working from the new building around the first of the year. Kudos to the airport on this major achievement. The town has had a few promotions in public safety recently. We welcomed Kevin Joseph to the position of sergeant in the police department after serving about 7 years as a police officer, and we recently promoted Lieutenant Dave Hayes of the Norwood Fire Department to the position of deputy chief in the fire department. Lieutenant Hayes has served the NFD for 23 years. Congratulations to them both, and we wish them success in their new positions. Norwood is officially an age-friendly community. As a result of great work between Council on Aging Director Kerry McCarthy and Neponset Valley Regional Chamber of Commerce President Tom O'Rourke, Norwood will be hosting a series of listening sessions and setting goals to meet a variety of targets centered around ensuring that Norwood is a welcoming and accessible community for all ages. The Norwood Rec Department, in conjunction with the Planning Department, were awarded a $5,000 grant to install a wheelchair-accessible swing at one of Norwood's parks this coming spring. Kudos to the Norwood Rec Department and the Planning Department for their work on this project, and we all look forward to seeing it this spring. With that, I'm wishing everyone a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and Happy New Year, and I hope you get to spend time with your families during this holiday season.
There are a lot of places in town to grab a cup of coffee or a sandwich, but the friendly service and homemade food of the Common Cafe and Patisserie gives locals the feeling of home right here in Norwood Center. Brian Dunn talked to the owner to hear her story on this week's Living Local.
A delectable gem tucked in the corner of Washington Street and Cottage Street, the Common Cafe is a pastry shop and cafe that has served the Norwood community for 11 years and counting.
Very interesting. My friend and I, Evie, who's a baker, and she's baking as we speak, started the business back in '08, and that's how the name came about, the Common Cafe and Patisserie. Patisserie, of course, stands for pastry in French. The Common because we are in the nicest part of the Norwood, right across from the Commons. And we've been serving the community ever since, so it's been 11 years now.
What makes the Common Cafe special, in addition to great food, is the loyal customers that come each and every day.
We really like our clientele here. People are here to stay, and they found a homey place with us. We love them to death. These are customers that have been loyal to us. We're looking forward to newcomers as newer families are coming in, and we've seen the changes over the years actually, from an older crowd to a younger generation of people coming in now. So we're really excited about that and see how it's evolving.
Inside the cafe, you can find anything from pastries and muffins to soups and sandwiches. The choices are plenty, and the menu has evolved since its inception over a decade ago.
In other words, if you blink, you almost missed it. It's just a tiny place on the outside, but a lot goes in here. We're very busy with breakfast, lunch, and we do catering for the past 11 years here. Everything is homemade, and so we have our own soups and sandwiches that we created, hot food of the day, and so they don't expect to see that, but we offer a little bit of everything.
The Common Cafe is much more than a dine-in experience. The friendly atmosphere and great food options make the Common Cafe feel like home.
I think everybody tries, especially when they own small businesses like ours, try their best to accommodate people. I don't know exactly what they're doing in their establishments, but whatever we do here, we do it with enthusiasm. We love our customers. We take care of our food. We are not apologizing about what we serve. So we can be proud of the outcome.
For more information on the Common Cafe, you can follow them on social media through Facebook and Instagram.
Stay tuned after this break to find out what is happening in your local government.
Stop by the Norwood Memorial Library and check out magazines, newspapers, DVDs, and of course, books. The library also offers a variety of services, including passport renewal, a notary, and tutoring, with multiple different meeting rooms which can be booked for your convenience. Take advantage of online digital resources and get assistance with all of your research needs. Kids can enjoy the children's room stocked with books and toys. There are also a variety of programs for children and adults. And if you can't make it into the library can come to you with home delivery. The library is open Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., and on Fridays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. To learn more, go to www.norwoodlibrary.org.
Welcome back to Norwood News. The Board of Health met Monday morning to go over a few reports and updates before the end of the year. The board was updated on inspection reports and new establishment updates, as well as ongoing progress with Impact Norwood. Health Director Sigal Reese used her report as an opportunity to clarify the updated laws surrounding vape products in Massachusetts and Norwood's current rules.
The ban is the governor declared a public health emergency and issued a ban on all vape products. That ban ended December 11th, so that's sort of off the table now. On December 11th, the Public Health Council at the state, which is equivalent to actually a local board, it's the state's Public Health Council, they issued the regulations on the same day. And those regulations are outlined on the second portion of the report here. They require certain things like signage, they limit the concentration of nicotine, strengthen enforcement, what are some other things? Require it to be placed behind the counter. So a lot of the requirements that we put on tobacco, we put on vape products. The confusing thing about the ban is when the ban was lifted for us with our regulations remained the same, which restricted all vape products to adult only. So that was a very big confusion for our retailers, and I completely understand why. They hear on the news the ban is lifted, retailers can sell vape, but not in Norwood because we still had our regulations. Our regulations did not change.
The Board of Health's next meeting will be January 21st. The Planning Board met for around an hour that Monday night. The board approved some construction plan revisions to the McDonald's on Broadway Street, as well as an approval not required plan presentation for lots on 600 Nichols Street. The meeting continued with an update on Moderna moving into Norwood and an exciting opportunity for the job market.
You see the press release on that, Paul, from Moderna? They're going to bring 250 people from Cambridge to here.
Yep. When they've completed the move into the old UTI building, it'll bring the head count in Norwood to 590 employees working for Moderna, and that'll be a broad range of types of jobs, but overall they'll be paying better than our last applicant.
They'll probably be our first or second largest employer.
Yes.
I would say, I think the hospital is right now, hospital is number one, largest employer, and this will be right up there.
Also Monday night, the Sustainability Commission met in the Drummy Room of Town Hall for an hour-long meeting. The meeting began with the creation of subcommittees for developing a sustainability action plan and for education and outreach. Chairman McFarland discussed what he would like to see from each subcommittee. Following the subcommittee discussion, the board set their next meeting and future agenda items. The Sustainability Commission will meet again on January 27th. At the Tuesday night Selectmen's meeting, Chairman Paul Bishop announced that he would not be seeking re-election in the spring. This now leaves 2 open seats at the Selectmen's table, as Alan Howard announced last week that he also has decided not to run.
With that said, this has been some time in the making. I was appointed to the Norwood Police Department on January 5th, 1971, and I served until March 31st, 2010, at which time I was medically retired. I stayed out a year, and the thing I noticed over that course of the year, I really missed the interaction with the public and the citizens. So I ran for selectman, and in April of 2011, Mr. Howard and myself were both elected to this board. And we've served for 9 years. Mr. Howard has already given his announcement that he will not be seeking re-election. And I want to stipulate to everybody out there that I also will not be looking for a re-election. I will not be on the ballot. The papers and nomination papers come out January 2nd. They will be available for anyone who may be interested in taking an elected position here in the town of Norwood. But again, I will not be a candidate this coming term. So I've completed 3, and it's my choice now not to go on for another 4.
The Selectmen will meet again January 7th of 2020. Also on Tuesday, the Zoning Board of Appeals held 4 hearings in Room 12. Both 95 Nichols Street and 15 Howard Street were seeking to convert a single-family home into a 2-family home. 15 Howard Street was continued to a later date, and 95 Nichols was approved. 17 Howard Street was also seeking a multifamily conversion, which was unanimously approved. On Wednesday night, the Conservation Commission met with a full agenda. The first 3 agenda items were notices of intent regarding Glossa Engineering. Following those discussions, the Commission covered a request for a certificate of compliance from Peter Salona of River Ridge Limited Partnership. The final agenda item of the night was Kristen Capsio giving her MACC presentation to the Commission. The Conservation Commission will meet again after the new year. For complete government coverage, tune into the NCM Government Channel or watch it on demand at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Stay tuned after this break to find out what is happening in your schools.
If you want to know what happened in Norwood this week, watch Norwood News
on Norwood Community Media, your home for all things Norwood.
Welcome back. Now we're going to toss it over to our Norwood Schools reporter to recap everything that has happened this week in the Norwood Public School District.
Hi guys, I'm Rory Kerr, and let's take a look at some activities happening in our Norwood schools this week. Norwood High School held their winter holiday concert, and one of the traditions is the Hallelujah Chorus performed by combined choruses, orchestra, and special guests. Here's a clip, and if you look close, you'll see a few familiar NHS faces. It's nice that this tradition continues every year at the holiday concert. It has finally arrived at the Callahan School. And you may be wondering, what is it? Well, it is none other than a Gaga pit, thanks to the PTA and a handful of parents who know how to work a power saw and drill. The Callahan has its first addition to the playground. Gaga is a type of dodgeball that is played in a Gaga pit. The game combines dodging, striking, running, and jumping with the objective of being the last person standing. As you can see, even the cold weather did not deter students from enjoying this fun game. Callahan students and staff kicked off Spirit Week with Mustang Pride Day, with lots of blue and gold, followed by Crazy Hair Day and Hat Day. Who knew you could create donuts, cupcakes, a bird's nest, and even Rudolph with your hair? Festive Sweater Day and Silly Sock Days were both popular again this year. But the highlight of the week was the first grade rendition of the Nutcracker. Callahan Prescott music teacher Chelsea Sardoni incorporated a little movement into the first graders' performance. That was really fun to watch. They could take that show on the road. The Oldham School is the location of Norwood's newest pop-up store, the Oldham School Store. Selling merchandise for all grade levels, the store is currently open every Thursday at lunchtime. Raising funds for the Oldham 5th grade, the store opened its tubs to a large crowd on December 5th. The 5th grade students met weekly to plan the logistics of marketing and merchandising for the pop-up venture. The store plans to remain open on a monthly basis once the holiday season is over. At the Coakley Middle School, 6th grade English teacher and last year's Teacher of the Year, Rachel Siegel, has been prepping her students for the CMS Cultural Day. They have been learning how to write research notes to organize the information about their countries, collaborating on their posters for part of their presentation, and then finally rehearsing their presentations. All these activities and more can be followed on her Twitter page. Great job, 6th graders. At the Balch School, Mrs. Kerr's class enjoyed making crafts in preparation for the holiday season. The students were able to choose from a selection of ornaments and other wooden objects. They created their own designs with tempera paints and afterwards added the year 2019 to their project with Sharpie markers. The students were excited to choose which person they would give this present. They carefully wrapped them in tissue paper before adding a colorful bow and homemade card. While it wasn't Black Friday, the Little Mustangs took advantage of the sales happening at their second annual holiday shopping event. Children had the opportunity to pick out special surprises for their families and friends in the shop set up by their teachers. The children have been learning how even though they enjoy receiving presents, it feels just as good to give surprises to the people they love. The Little Mustangs have also been having fun celebrating the holidays. The children learned about Hanukkah and some special traditions families celebrate during this festive holiday. They learned about the menorah and had fun playing some dreidel games. They learned how to spin a dreidel and what the symbols on each side of the dreidel meant. They quickly figured out their gimel was the best side for the dreidel to land, as they got to take all of the coins from the pot in the middle. After playing, the children counted their coins to see who had the most. The children practiced good sportsmanship by congratulating the winner. Happy holidays to all the people who make the Little Mustangs a special place to be. Well, that's it for school news. There's something interesting happening in our classrooms and schools every day, and thanks to all the educators who share their news with us. On behalf of all the schools, we wish you a happy holiday and hope you enjoy the break. Be sure to tune into NCM and watch the holiday concerts, or visit the website to watch them on demand. The links will also be available on the school's Facebook page. Now let's go to Brian Dunn for the latest sports news.
Hello everybody and welcome into the sports update for this week. My name is Brian Dunn and we have finally reached the point where we have a full slate of sports to break down for you. Let's not waste any time and get right into it because the Mustangs came out firing out the gate. Start with a doubleheader for both hockey teams to begin the season at Robin Arena this past Saturday. The girls stepped on the ice first and Allie Martin and Allie McDonough potted goals and Morgan Rowe, the young gun, gets her first of her career, so a group effort in the win. The girls lost their following matchup to Dedham that week. Shifting gears to the boys matchup, same place against Acton, they too were shut out of a cannon in that second period. Harry Gover was responsible for a few goals, but you know what they say, you always remember your first, right? Miles Kidd, the sophomore, pots his first career goal as a Mustang as Norwood cruises to a 6-3 win. Norwood Hoops had a successful weekend as well. The girls team opened up at home against Dover Cairborn and down the Raiders with a strong defense. A successful prior season starts off on the right foot with a 51-27 win over DS at home. And the story writes itself for the boys team at Dover Cairborn, Coach McDonald's first official game at the helm, but it was Damari Daniels who delivered the dagger in the final seconds. Mustangs get the rebound off the scrum and Daniels drills a three-pointer to secure the 1-point lead. A couple free throws later and the Mustangs win 53-51. Coach McDonald's first win as a Mustang. Congratulations to everybody. The boys stayed hot with a win over Holliston the following week. Wrestling is now 4-0 out of the gate with wins in a tri-meet to start off the year and a home opener win against Bellingham. Some awesome competition Wednesday night in the high school gym as they ultimately prevail 63-18. Track and field also started the seasons with a W. The boys came away 64-22 win, and the girls secured a 54-32 victory, with major performances including 6 first-place finishes for the girls and 5 first-place finishes for the boys. Swimming and diving also started their season last week with a win over Wayland over at Wayland Pool. And for those keeping score at home, that is a 10-0 start for the Mustangs to start off the year. And that's all from me for sports this week. For updates on Mustang and Norwood sports, be sure to check back in with our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram on when we go live with events and coverage throughout the year. Safe to say the kids are excited to be back. And this is the last time I will be talking to you before the holiday break. I want to wish everybody a very and safe happy holiday and new year, and we'll see you in 2020. Kristen, back to you.
Thanks, Brian. Monday morning, Norwood firefighters were alerted to a possible chimney fire on Pleasant Street. Companies responded, arrived on scene, and found active fire inside the chimney extending upwards. Crews were able to prevent any fire extension into the structure by lowering chimney chains down the chimney to knock the fire and smoldering debris to an awaiting engine company. Crews operated for just under an hour. The Norwood Fire Department would like to take this opportunity to remind citizens of the dangers of chimney fires, especially this time of year. There are over 25,000 chimney fires in the United States every year, causing over $125 million in damage. The NFPA, the National Fire Protection Association, states chimneys should be inspected once a year, and the Chimney Safety Institute of America says that chimneys need to be professionally cleaned when there is 1/8 of soot buildup inside the chimney or flue. Highland and Old Parish Cemetery in Norwood participated in the Wreaths Across America event last week on December 14th. With help from volunteers, wreaths were placed on the resting places of veterans in the town of Norwood to honor and remember those who served during the holiday season. If you would like to donate a wreath for next year or get involved, visit wreathsacrossamerica.org or visit the Wreaths Across America Norwood, Mass. Facebook page. Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend.